yoga, haunted movies, and much more is happening this weekend in Endicott. Thanks for joining us. I'm Matt Layton.
And I'm Ray Newcomb. On Wednesday, October 26th, the Autism Awareness Organization is hosting a fundraiser at the Beverly Panera Bread location starting at 4 p.m. At 5, Endicott's Hillel will be meeting in the Dexter room of the chapel, and at 6, Perfecting Your Paraphrasing and Avoiding Plagiarism, a workshop, will be taking place in Library Room 206.
Also on Wednesday, head over to Gully's for a pre-Talk the Vote event. Enjoy some free appetizers before the Talk the Vote event starts at 8. But before that, at 7, Lighthouse will be meeting in the chapel, and at 7:30, there'll be a library workshop in room 105. As I just mentioned, at 8 o'clock, WBZ's Talk the Vote series with Nightside host Dan Ray will be coming to Endicott. He'll be hosting a live radio broadcast from the Wax Auditorium with guest speaker John Sununu, former Chief of Staff to President George Herbert Walker Bush, and former Governor of New Hampshire. Students who attend will be entered to win a $25 gift card. Some will be handed out at the event to the Endicott bookstore. And a reminder that this event satisfies the speaker series.
Let's see what went on when the Gulls took the field earlier this week with sports with Jess and Matt. Take it away, guys.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of EC Sports. For ECTV, I'm Matt Pritchard.
And I'm Jess Carroll. The 5-year CCC championship run for women's tennis came to an end as they were bested by Nichols. Congrats to the ladies on a great season.
Anthony Golos led the Endicott men's golf team to a 6th place finish in the NEIGA D3 championships. Congratulations to Golos and the rest of the team on a great golf season.
CCC Offensive Player of the Week, Brittany Bushy, led the field hockey team to 2 wins this past week. Bushy set the school record for the most goals in a single game versus Roger Williams, as the Gulls went on to defeat Nichols later in the week. The Gulls will host Western New England Wednesday the 26th and host Salem State Saturday the 29th.
CCC Defensive Player of the Week Nick Weinstein and Offensive and Rookie of the Week Evan Couchel led the men's soccer team to 2 conference wins this past week. They will move into the CCC playoffs Saturday at Hempstead Stadium.
The women's soccer team split games this past week. They picked up a big overtime win of the University of New England before dropping their game to Wentworth. They will also start the CCC playoffs Saturday at Hempstead Stadium.
The football team dropped their first conference game to Western New England 20-7 this past Saturday. They will look to get back on the winning side of things Saturday at the Coast Guard Academy.
The women's volleyball team won 2 conference games versus Western New England and Roger Williams this past week. The team was led by CCC Player of the Week Tori McIntyre and Libero of the Week Erica Trunden. They'll finish up their regular season Saturday at Wentworth.
The cross-country teams will return to the trails and look for a first-place finish in the CCC Championships Saturday at Western New England.
With fall sports slowly coming to an end, winter sports are starting up. The men's and women's ice hockey teams will start their seasons on the road Friday.
That's all for this week for EC Sports. For ECTV, I'm Matt Pritchard.
And I'm Jess Carroll. Have a spooky weekend.
Thursday at 7, Gentle Flow Yoga class will be taking place in the Post Center studio. Then at 8, Residence Life presents The Haunted Trail through the Cross Country Trail, and Late Night Loca presents A Haunted Movie Night. At 9, 21 Plus Night starts at Gully's. Get your drink on, folks.
Amen. Northeast Arc Friday Night Happening starts at 6:30 on Friday. This week's theme is pumpkin carving. If you're interested in volunteering, sign up through your Blue Buzz email. And also on Friday at 9 o'clock, it is the Monster Mash in Gully's.
Fittingly, Wicked Halloween starts at 9 in the Field House on Saturday. Tickets can be purchased for $15 at the Student Activities booth in Lower Callahan or online via your Blue Buzz email.
A man dressed up as a tree running through traffic, and much more happened this week with Shake My Head News. Riley and Lexi have it right now.
Hello and welcome to Shake My Head News, where we give you the ridiculous news from around the world. I'm Riley Fitzgibbons.
And I'm Lexi Lozano. To begin this week, a man in Portland, Maine was arrested for dressing as a tree and blocking traffic on Monday afternoon. Portland police arrested the man after he walked back and forth slowly through downtown traffic, dressed as a pile of branches. Police took him to jail on a misdemeanor charge of obstructing a public way. Police say the man's motivation was to see how people would react to his performance and how it would impact people's natural choreography. A friend of the man, identified by authorities as 30-year-old Asher Woodworth, says he was just trying to study the city's traffic patterns. I guess that man was just living the way life it should be.
This week in Wisconsin, a woman was charged with disorderly conduct after smearing peanut butter all over cars outside of a conservative club meeting. She believed that these cars belonged to Trump supporters, and this was her protest against them. Reports showed that the peanut butter perpetrator smelled of intoxicants as she broke down crying about how much she hated Trump, all while licking her fingers. Officers had to take the family-sized jar of low-sodium creamy natural Jif as evidence. Since jail records didn't include her name in reports, it looks like she was out of there in a jiff.
A 59-year-old man who wore a bikini fashioned out of see-through plastic wrap on a New Jersey beach is facing criminal charge. Beach Haven police said Stephen Wachowski spent 2 days on a Long Island beach wearing a homemade bikini in which his genitals were clearly exposed. The department posted censored photos of the man to its Facebook page last week, asking for help identifying the man. The Stafford Township man was arrested Monday with charge for lewdness. He was released pending further court proceedings. A woman who answered the phone at his house said nobody's here and hung up. It is unclear if he has an attorney who could comment on his behalf.
A young black bear led police on a 2-hour chase through the streets of downtown Anchorage, Alaska, scurrying across sidewalks and down lanes of traffic, and even ducking behind a Pizza Hut along the way. The Anchorage Police Department said that they first received a call about the 4-legged suspect around 6 p.m. on Thursday. Police followed the bear until after 8 p.m. when the State Department of Fish and Game ended the animal city tour. Video exploits of the bear were posted on Facebook by Anchorage Police and had been viewed more than 1 million times. No one was hurt during the bear's adventure, but police said wildlife officials relocated the furry tourist. Anchorage is home to some 300 bears, but police say encounters like this are very rare.
That's all we have here for today. Thanks for tuning in.
And thanks for being foolish.
Interested in heading to Spooky World? Well, there'll be a trip this Sunday leaving from the Post Center bus stop at 6 o'clock. Tickets can be purchased for a discounted rate at $28 via your Blue Buzz email, and the cost of transportation will be included in your ticket.
Now let's take a look at the top stories from around the globe as Chessie takes a look at world news. Take it away, Chessie.
Hello everyone, this is World News and I'm Chessie Kim. A marriage broke down in just 2 hours because a wife started sharing pictures on Snapchat. The Saudi Arabian bride and groom are said to have had a binding agreement not to share pictures of her Snapchat of the ceremony. But according to the bride's brother, the agreement was broken. He said, "There was a prenuptial agreement between my sister and her fiancé that she would not use social media applications such as Snapchat, Instagram, or Twitter to post or send her pictures. It was included in the marriage contract and became binding. Regretfully, my sister did not honor the pledge and used Snapchat to share pictures from the wedding ceremony with her female friends, resulting in the shocking decision by the groom to cancel their marriage and call for divorce. The bride's family said that the agreement had been unfair, while the groom's relatives said he was within his rights to file for a divorce, even after 2 hours. Police in Spain are investigating after a British citizen was found dead at a Spanish airport with a slice of ham on each buttock and his genitals in an open tuna can. Police have named the man found dead in strange circumstances as Stephen Alford, a 51-year-old British national who also had his hands and feet bound by plastic ties and his trousers pulled down. Alford's body was discovered by a security guard on a bench at Malaga Airport in an area popular with homeless people between the airport's train station and the terminal building. Investigators are working to determine if the strategic placing of food on his body was a message sent by criminals or a practical joke by those that discovered the body. Officers are now examining CCTV to establish how the 51-year-old ended up in a bizarre position. One source said there were no obvious signs of violence on his body, but the position he was found in suggested foul play. Investigators were also examining whether he may have been the victim of a sex assault. A man almost ended up going to jail after a family pet exposed his affair with the housemaid. The alleged affair came to light after the pair started to repeat flirty phrases in front of his wife, who hadn't heard anything like this for some time. She had wondered for a while about her husband's relationship with their maid and at their home in Kuwait. So when the bird started to parrot what it had overheard, she seized on it as evidence and went to police. Adultery is illegal in the Gulf state, carrying a potential prison sentence. If the bird's evidence had been admitted, he could have faced a severe penalty for his indiscretion. But thankfully for him, the authorities said the squawkings could not be admitted in court, as it could not be proved that the bird hadn't heard the intimate conversation on TV or the radio. It was not deemed a credible witness and the case did not proceed, even though the wife said she had suspected it for some time and that her husband became anxious if she arrived home unexpectedly from work. Nevertheless, the case has made headlines around the world, and it's not the first time a parrot has snitched. In 2006, a bird reportedly revealed his Honor Susie's affair with a work colleague by shouting out, "I love you, Gary," in front of her boyfriend, whose name was Chris. A homeless man died after falling into a bin full of meat and bones while looking for food outside of a supermarket in Germany. CCTV footage showed the desperate 56-year-old Polish man inspecting the bin shortly before the tragic. Shocked supermarket workers discovered the man's body positioned headfirst the next day. A homeless friend of his said he lived pretty much of his own and never wanted to bother anybody. He was just trying to find something to eat. Yasin Ghazi, a plastic surgeon, posted photographs online where he posed with unconscious and naked patients. He regularly uploaded the graphic images to his large social media following, showing people being cut open in the middle of a procedure or lying motionless on an operating table. His clinic has been shut down after a client reported him to health authorities for posting the photos of his patients going under the knife. An investigation found he was working without a license at his clinic in the Bratislava, the capital city of Slovakia. One of the most inappropriate images is said to be a picture of him squeezing the breast of a patient on an operating table and making an okay gesture. He captioned the picture, "Welcome to the place where dreams come true." That's all for this week. Now back to the desk.
This coming Monday is Halloween, and there will be a Halloween bash at 6 in Lower Callahan. Stop by for a donut eating contest, make your own smile, decorate your own pumpkin, a candy bar, take a photo in the photo booth, and much more. Feel free to show up in your Halloween costumes too.
And I think instead of smile, it's slime. So if you want to make your own slime,
I'd much
it's
rather
even
make my own slime than my own smile.
Right?
I must say.
Well, that does it for this week at Endicott. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Layton.
And I'm Ray Newcomb. See you next week, girls.